While the window is fast closing on climate talks at the UN-led COP28 summit. The gathering in Dubai officially ends tomorrow, but negotiators have yet to reach an agreement to tackle climate change. They're still at odds over whether to call for an end to fossil fuels, a feat not achieved in almost 30 years of the conference. A new draft text is expected to be released later today. The UN climate chief has since urged countries to clear what he describes as technical blockages in order to reach the deal. Talks in Dubai have highlighted deep divisions over the future role of oil, gas and coal. While there has been some progress in resolving some disagreements, two key issues are still under fierce debate. That's how ambitious nations are willing to be to tackle climate change and how much funding and support they will provide to back up that aim.
So that leaves us with the question, how do we get from here a meaningful deal? First, clear the unnecessary tactical blockades out of the way, and there have been many along this journey. The global stocktake needs to help all countries get out of this mess. Any strategic landmines that blow it up for one, blow it up for all. The world is watching, as are 4,000 members of the global media and thousands of observers here in Dubai. There is nowhere to hide.
And for more, CNA's Julie Yu joins us live from Dubai. Julie, time running out at the COP28 summit. What's the latest on ongoing negotiations?
Sue, as the clock winds down on COP28, the atmosphere is certainly charged with anticipation, with everyone awaiting that release of the latest draft text here in Dubai. The buzz is all about the expected language concerning fossil fuels. And in fact, this morning, there was a bit of an excitement when COP28's president, Sultan Al Jaber, teased us, media, with an unexpected press conference, only to cancel it shortly afterward. Behind the closed doors, we know that the presidency has been engaging in intense discussions. He's been shuttling between meetings with individual countries and influential country groups, pushing for more flexibility and compromise across the board. Well, the thing is, fault lines still persist, especially regarding the potential phase out of fossil fuels, which is facing strong opposition from Saudi Arabia and its allies. But there are also hints of progress, as some key players like China seeming to be softening their stance and seeking potential compromises. Now, meanwhile, the UN chief Antonio Guterres has also been speaking to reporters, saying nations must reach an agreement to phase out fossil fuels, even if that means countries move at different rates.
A central aspect, in my opinion, of the success of the COP would be for the COP to reach a consensus on the need to phase out fossil fuels in line with a time framework that is in line with the 1.5 degree limit. That doesn't mean that all countries must phase out fossil fuels at the same time.
Yeah, well, history has shown us that these talks often go over time, and sometimes trickier bits end up being pushed to next year's conference in Azerbaijan, perhaps. So COP29 might have its share of work tackling the more technical parts of the text. Wai-Su?
Julie, you mentioned the future of fossil fuels, the main sticking point, as you mentioned, the language around that topic as well. But what else are countries trying to achieve at COP28?
Climate adaptation, notably for developing countries, has emerged as another critical concern. They find the existing text on it too weak and are calling for greater reassurances in adaptation funding. Now, what this means is more money needed to improve infrastructure of poor nations, including early warning systems for extreme weather events or building stronger bridges or roads that do not crumble in floods, for example. And the new draft for an agreement on global adaptation goals was released yesterday, but it didn't include exact details on the required finance commitments. So leaders and activists from climate vulnerable countries are pushing to double double the money available to help them deal with punishing climate change events. While there have been talks around loss and damage fund, some of you may ask, what's the difference? Well, loss and damage fund is focused on recovery efforts, whereas in climate adaptation refers to making communities more resilient to the hazards posed by a warming world. And there's also the question of whether there should be a push for more debt-free grants and whether doubling the finance by 2025 would even be enough given the scale of climate risk today. So we'll be keeping an eye out on any developments out of these crucial talks. Wei Su.
I think that was CNA's Julie reporting live to us there from Dubai.